Hey guys, welcome up to Season 10, Episode 6 of Criminal Minds. Here we go.
Come on. Let's go. Good boy. Come on. Yeah.
Enough with the dog already. You haven't heard a single word I've said.
I don't have time for this now.
Okay, fine. Then make 10th of this. I'm telling your wife about us.
No, you won't.
Try and stop me. Go fetch.
Oh, you're seriously threatening me? You just made a big mistake.
What?
Let's talk about this.
Stay there. Don't come any closer.
What?
Pizza is ready. What's a cloud? It's hard to explain. It's a wireless upload to a server. There's actually data centers called cloud farms.
Terrific. Took me a year to learn how to scan these onto CDs and...
Who's that?
Huh? That's your mama, and that's your Aunt Rosalind, honey. You don't know who she is?
Oh. That's her sister.
Did you and Henry talk about Rosalind this evening?
I explained to him that she was gone, that she went to a better place.
Okay, well, Henry just asked if we could go visit her in this better place. Mom, I can't believe you told him without even discussing it with me.
And maybe if we had just dealt with her problems head on, she'd still be with us.
You're an adult. Henry is a child. There's a big difference.
That's
I
true.
don't see how the truth harms anyone, adults or children.
Okay, so what am I supposed to tell him if he asks how she...
This is
Here you
a...
go. It's work.
Oof.
I won't. Don't worry. Avoidance is what this family does best, anyhow.
Ooh. Damn.
Last month, a local shopkeeper was killed in a hit and run. The driver was a student who's very rich and well-connected. Daddy got him off with a slap on the wrist.
Which I imagine didn't sit well with the locals.
Oh, you could say that. A random fraternity was firebombed in retaliation.
I'm just concerned that the murder might escalate the friction between the student community and the permanent residents.
Town versus gown. It happens.
All the way back to the Battle of St. Scholastica.
The town is going after the frat boys?
The Battle of St. Scholastica Day? I'm glad you asked. Oxford University, 1335. Citizens attacked students and professors with bows and arrows. Fighting went on for 2 days and nearly 100 people were killed.
What?
You know, it's probably just my easygoing nature, but if I stab someone a dozen times, it'd pretty much be out of my system.
Damn. I feel like I get that message. Like texting and driving.
Not much blood on the scene given the extent of the injuries.
Clark must have been killed somewhere else and then dragged into the woods in a van.
Okay, thing one, a search on Douglas Clark's cell phone turned up a cache of pornography, the non-heterosexual kind.
Well, that changes the equation. If the victim was gay, we could be looking at a hate crime.
And I wouldn't have said thing one if there was nothing to. A new body was just discovered a mile away from the first victim. No details yet.
5:30 in the morning East Coast time. You don't seem tired at all.
What can I tell you? I'm a night person.
Hey, speaking of that, you might want to consider revamping your circadian clock to a more traditional chronotype.
Yeah, I'll put that on my to-do list.
Seriously, studies have found that night owls show reduced integrity of white matter in the brain compared to early risers.
Douglas Clark's cell didn't have that.
The phone was put into Clark's mouth post-mortem. This victim must have still been alive.
Well, let's see if this baby holds any surprises.
It's an honor to be working with the BAU.
I don't even think I could get my phone in my
Spelling
mouth.
this victim?
Kevin Brubaker, senior year at the
My
University.
mouth is not that
Wow.
wide.
Killer and I have the same type.
He avoided gay hangouts, he only went to straight bars, and he dated women to keep people from suspecting.
Do you know Kevin Brubaker?
No. Why?
Excuse me.
I've never understood that. How do you date... How do you... If you're gay, how do you date women?
Brubaker's cell phone.
If you're not... Like, how... I don't even... How does that...
Okay, this is for mature
You just pretend?
viewing audiences only.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't get it in either aspect. Like, if you're not into, how do you date people you're not into?
Right. Alright.
Or not attracted to?
Spoiler alert, there's another minute or so of that tender, nuanced foreplay, and then Brubaker seals the deal.
And she had no idea he was filming her.
We found 3 other videos like this with 3 different women.
You are very pretty.
If Brubaker wasn't straight, he did an enthusiastic job of faking it. We're trying to identify the 3 women now.
How do you know? I just don't understand how you fake it.
Angry boyfriend doesn't explain Douglas Clark's murder. A closeted gay man, a jerk like Brubaker who violates his partner's trust.
We need to find out how he learns the details of his victims' lives.
And how he finds them in the first place.
Are you about to kill a woman? Is this the guy?
The lacerations were deliberate and precise. Look at your marks on the wrists and ankles and no defensive wounds at all.
Like you've been held down and tortured.
Yes, except the bindings were mild in terms of severity of force and duration of application.
Not enough to seriously restrain the victim.
Exactly.
So how did the unsub control Brubaker if he was still alive?
Right here and here.
Torture wounds.
What is
White at
that?
the surface, tapering to a narrow point deep in the tissue.
Any idea what it could be?
No, ma'am. Frankly, I've never seen a wound quite like it before. Anselm took a big risk going back to this location. It must have special meaning.
Or it's convenient.
I don't understand.
There is a residential area about a half-mile away if you cut southeast through the woods.
Thank you. You were right. The other alarm was set.
Alarm?
Police
Yeah,
report
she
that
could
the
arrest
Clark's
me.
cell phone alarm
I would
was
commit a
off.
crime just to be arrested
It
by
had been set for
her.
12 o'clock the previous evening, so I had forensics check to see if Brubaker's alarm had also been set.
It had.
The ME did say the murder weapon could have been gardening shears.
But then
Yeah, but
another
what
thought
is
hit
the-
me, so I went browsing through the latest Jimmy Choo catalog.
Same size and shape.
Okay, now, it's not necessarily this particular label, but the puncture could have been caused by a stiletto heel.
If Douglas Clark was
They
gay
were-
and the unsub was wearing these, we could be looking for a male crossdresser.
But the puncture wound was also on Kevin Brubaker, and we know Douglas dated women as a cover. I think the unsub might be a woman.
So, let's get the awkward
It's her?
questions out of the way. Meet someone and magic.
Wow, that's a twist.
Did your buddy have another woman lined up?
Kevin always had women lined
I
up.
mean, like a specific woman, maybe in the last couple of days. Look, it is in your best interest to cooperate with us, Shane. I mean, you did receive videos taken of these women without their permission.
Ooh. Roasted.
Montana may be a two-party consent state. But you probably noticed Kevin turned the audio
Got
off.
you.
Consent isn't required without the audio component. Therefore, I wasn't involved in anything illegal.
How the fuck do you know that?
I'm pretty low.
Oh, and I'm sure you are going to have a wonderful career sometime in 2035. Consent issues don't apply to child porn. Well, let's just say one of these girls was, I don't know, 2 months shy of her 18th birthday. That's child porn, video or audio, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Rex.
Child porn carries a mandatory minimum of 20 years in prison. But I am sure that you knew that. Talk about another woman that he was planning on videotaping.
That was
Yes.
that
Did
was
he
really well
describe her
done.
or give a name?
No, she was a townie. Impressed by his car. All Kevin said was that she was weird.
Weird how?
Could this have been like the shopkeeper's daughter or something?
Didn't even have a cell phone. Her dress was extra high enough.
Dude, sleep.
None of the girls Brubaker filmed were underage.
Oh gosh, do you think I gave Shane the wrong impression?
I love
Like
her.
a scout county.
Somebody should get a barf bag for illegal eagle in there.
This really a room?
Yes. Why?
Just different. That's all.
Don't you ever wish upon a star?
No? But
No.
It won't do any good. You think you can make a mockery of this?
what are you talking about?
You take love and beauty and enchantment and you turn it into something ugly. exactly.
Okay, you're starting to freak me out. Okay, untie me now. What are you doing?
This girl seems like she just got like cheated on or something.
Wouldn't mind having
I'm gonna kill everybody because I'm mad. A watch?
And the alarm is set to midnight.
Supposed to look at that.
Dude, it's like a fairy tale.
What's that on his arm?
Don't quote me, but I think that's Ash.
A black widow who lures men in, most likely with the promise of sex, and then kills them.
We don't yet know what triggered these murders, but it's most likely connected to a specific person or event.
But she herself may live humbly, without much money. One of her victims characterized her as a townie impressed by his luxury vehicle.
So she's appointed herself judge, jury, and executioner, killing surrogates for her own attacker.
Look closely at recent victims of sexual assault where charges weren't filed because the accused was either wealthy or connected.
I deducted $20 from your salary. Maybe that'll help you learn.
Damn.
Hey, Mr. Jensen, it won't happen again.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
My dad shouldn't talk to you like that.
Yes, sir. That'll be $42.
It's okay.
I mean,
And I'll make sure you get the money he took.
if she's late, you have to. You can't show up late.
Listen, I was thinking about catching a movie tonight.
Dude's trying. Oh God.
Oh, sorry, I already have plans. It's a date.
The price tags were still on the dress. Maybe the unsub stole it.
Well, Garcia looking to local vintage and secondhand shops. Maybe an employer-customer fits our profile. It's an impulse control disorder 3 times more prominent in women than in men. Researchers believe that compulsive thefts could be a response to early childhood trauma, trying to symbolically repossess what was lost in childhood.
But a true kleptomaniac doesn't steal for financial gain or personal use, and she's wearing what she's stealing.
What are you looking at?
Young, handsome men with money and status, a high-heel shoe one might wear to a dance, luxury transportation at the stroke of
Cinderella
reverts to junk.
I said fairy tale.
Cinders. It's a fairy tale gone horribly wrong.
Mrs. Jordan came in to pick up her daughter's dress. It isn't here, and she needs it for a wedding this weekend. That's it. Claire's fired.
Fired? What for?
This is the 3rd dress gone missing since she's been here. She's not just fired. I'm having her arrested.
But wait, don't do that. I'll bring the dress back and tell her she doesn't have a job here anymore. She's not a bad person. You want to take care of it?
She's not a bad
But I better
person,
not see her face
dude.
around here ever again.
I think I'll go introduce myself. See you with caution, bro. What for? I'm sure there's crazy going on up in there. One man's crazy is another man's king. I wouldn't do it.
He warned you.
You feel like dancing? Then let's do it.
No.
Everything okay?
Yeah, that was my mom. She's up visiting for a couple days.
Nice.
Yeah, she and Henry are gonna go to the zoo.
Sounds like fun. Or not.
Believes that children shouldn't be shielded from the realities of the world. I do. Isn't that why we read them fairy tales in the first place?
No, actually, most fairy tales in their original form are gruesome to the extreme. In Cinderella, the stepsisters had their feet mutilated to fit into the shoe, and their eyes were eventually pecked at by doves. Sleeping Beauty was raped while she was unconscious by the king. Hansel and Gretel were held captive by half-blind cannibals. Soldiers. One could argue that the sanitized versions we have today are actually counterproductive to the original purpose of fairy tales, so that children could safely confront their darkest fears.
Maybe my mom was right. The unsub believed in the fairy tale, not in reality. This is the result.
It's been a wonderful evening, almost magical.
Are you from Missoula? Because I haven't seen you around before.
I hadn't gone out with a man ever until last week.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
It's important to wait for the right person.
So what happened with the guy from last week? He didn't pan out?
I thought he was a good man, honest and true, but he wasn't. What?
You have a funny way of saying things sometimes. But I like it.
Are you not gonna stab this one?
Don't do that.
What's the matter?
No, now you're gonna stab it. Damn! See, now that was not self-defense.
Now the end-sub is evolving. This kill is much more disorganized.
Yeah.
We're a good 15 miles away from the other crime scenes.
At least this time she was gracious enough to leave behind the murder weapon. Can I see this really quick?
These are for my father. This is the day I go to the cemetery.
Oh. Then, let me take you.
Really?
Oh,
Why not? I'm here. I've got my pickup. Bus is a hassle.
I hope nothing bad happened to her. Maybe she's a little bit off, but she seemed like a really sweet girl.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Garcia came up empty-handed. No one working at a clothing store fits our profile. Same thing with arrest records for female shoplifters.
Alright, let's back up and look at the
Wait,
changing
you didn't.
sequence.
Oh, she doesn't work at a clothes store.
Defensive wounds, no ligature marks. But the profile is slightly off. She's not a black widow luring men in. Her delusion is hopeful and optimistic.
You're right. Despite the blood and guts, she's still hoping for a happily ever after ending.
Never even knew the cemetery.
I also think there was a mistake in this episode. I'm pretty sure when she stabbed him, she threw her shoe away and then took off the other one. It didn't stay in his neck. But then when they showed up to the scene, they said it was in his neck.
The S10E6 disassociates when she kills, but from what?
You okay?
Oh, that is so typical. My mother used to say if clumsiness was a virtue, I would be anointed Catherine the First.
What?
What is it?
The dress that the unsub wore, the bartender said it didn't fit right. Which is strange, because the details of her fantasies mean so much to her.
You're right, if she was stealing the dresses, why not steal a dress of his?
So, where else might clothes get tagged?
The dry cleaners.
Got it. Claire Dunbar, she works at Vic's Cleaners.
Does she fit the profile?
As snugly as I fit into the chiseled arms of Derek Morgan. Her mother was institutionalized shortly after her birth. Her father raised her on his own until he flaked. Left her at the mall with an apology note pinned to her blouse.
And then put her in the foster system.
With a foster mom and 3 biological daughters. Ooh, rings the Cinderella bell for me.
Yes, it does.
I don't have one yet, but I do have the address to the dry cleaners. I'm sending that now.
Claire Dunbar's father, the one who abandoned her, did he ever surface again?
Not that I can see, no.
Listen, run the DNA.
Then
from
who
the
is she
verified
going to
national
the...
database, see if there's any near matches. 97% are covered, right?
On it. Love you.
Do you remember much about your dad?
Yes.
And it's
One
all
of the best
blocked
memories
off,
I
too.
have. My father is the one who gave me the love of books. He'd read to me
This
every
freaking
single
bug,
night
I'm gonna
before bed.
lose my mind.
Fairy tales mostly. My favorite was Cinderella.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell. Ooh.
Are you sure this is your father's grave?
Of course I'm sure. I come here every week.
I think a woman's buried here.
Talk to me, baby girl. You got an address coming my way?
I'm almost
She's
there.
freaking out.
Chloe sometimes uses her mother's maiden name, which is... Yes, Claire Raleigh, a.k.a. Dunbar, 2569A Sagebrush Court. Okay, ouch.
Voila.
Negative. He died of a heart attack in 2005.
And I'll lay odds that his DNA is on record because he was incarcerated.
Collect on that bet. He was arrested in 2002 and convicted of pedophilia.
And I know who one of his victims was.
He's buried right there. And I want to go home now.
But look, it says right here, Dorothy Carter.
Great.
Hey, Hodge? In here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm already doing it, sir. In 5, 4, 3, 2, the phone is at a cemetery. Oh, that can't be good. I'm sending the location now.
Oh, that can't be good. I don't know why you sounded like that for a second.
You're closer to the location than we are.
This is all your fault.
Oh.
I never should have brought you here.
Stop.
What did
Please.
you do to my father's grave? Tell me now.
Claire, you don't need to do this.
I'm not the one who ruined it. You did.
Excuse me. May I approach?
Who are you? Go away!
Are you the right person? The dance. The other evening, do you remember?
Let's go read.
The dance?
I met the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. We danced the whole night and then she was gone. May I?
Let's go read.
I brought the carriage.
I brought, yes, it's a SWAT van.
The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract positive thinking. Albert Einstein.
Oh, so apparently Henry's favorite zoo animals were the pigeons.
Pigeons!
Anyway, my mom, she drives me crazy, but she means well. So, how much longer do you think you're gonna be? Oh, okay, good. Well, I will stretch out this glass of wine and wait up for you. Okay, drive safe.
Careful, JJ.
How about I tell you a story tonight? A brand new one? Okay. The two sisters would pretend that they lived in a huge castle. They would spend long, wonderful days talking about what they were going to do in the future. And they knew that they would both be looking at the same thing. That they would never be apart.
Well, it's quite simple this time as far as sentencing. Great episode. We have murder and attempted murder. It's one of the lower ends of murder because she's probably going to be in a mental hospital. She's probably going to need to get a lot of help. And she seems more of like, she wasn't really going out there to kill. She was going out there to find something else and then kill when she didn't find what she was looking for, which plays into the mental issues. I'll go 10 to 15 on both. 4 counts of one count of the other. Do the math. 50 years. Which absolutely has has the ability to get out. With her mental status, it's probably going to be a little lesser than that. She'll need to be reevaluated and treated, and we'll see how that plays out. But like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you have not already. I will see y'all next time.